This video is going to be different from my usual content, but it's something I thought I should do because I never found a lot of instructions or videos on how to do this. We're going to be setting up the Tunturi WT80 in this video. And it's quite a simple process if you follow the instruction manual, so stay tuned. I must say I was impressed with a few things on this gym. Some parts were very sturdy, very rigid, very strong, like this main center frame piece. And I was quite impressed to see that it's got steel bearings at the main hinge point, which is quite good. It's got shims on the other points, but that's not so much of an issue. I actually put it together and it never took too long. However, I did it over a period of time and took breaks, did other things, and got back to it. As you can see, it's quite a thick material on the bench itself that connects to this machine. And it is a bit shaky, but it's quite strong. There are some parts that I wasn't so impressed with, but you'll see that. I'll explain it even in the video. I was really impressed with the fact that all the bolts, all the washers, all the nuts that come with it are actually packaged in a systematic way so that you can put this together quite easily. Okay, so page 1 is done, and I never tightened it too tight. Just tightened it. There's no torque settings, as I can see in here. So yeah, let's crack on with this build. Okay, so I made a mistake on step 1. The holes were at the bottom, meaning these two were swapped. I had to take them off and I had to swap them around so that the holes that these bolts go into are at the top. It's got a nice thick support apart from the thick center pipe. I believe that's maybe 2 mil thick, but then it's got these supports on it, and these are quite thick. So that base piece is also quite thick. The whole structure so far seems very rigid, very strong. And there's no torque instructions in the manual, so what I did was just tighten them tight and then just a bit more so that I don't strip them. On to the next piece of this paper. So we've done the 2 side pieces. Looks like the next thing to do is this pin at the top. That's in, so that's done. So we've done the 2 side pieces, and that's on page 2. And so far we've used all the bolts and washers on this side. Okay, so on to the next page, and we'll be installing these arms. Take note the direction we go, and take note the bolt that actually fits on at the bottom. I'm going to use some blue Loctite on these moving parts, just to make sure that they stay in place. And I'm also going to mark them with a marker so that I know if they've moved. For instance, like there. Just so I know if it's coming loose. Gives you a good hint. Okay, so we've pretty much finished this section, and I didn't want to tighten them too much, otherwise you restrict the movement. And it also does say in the manual not to tighten them too much. As you can see, that piece over there just moves freely, and it's the same up here. And I just used some red marker just to mark it so I can see if the bolts are moving. The moment that line goes out of place, then we know that it's on tightening and it needs to be just tightened down a bit. Okay, we're on to the next part, and that's installing the chest press, the part that you actually interact with, and this main piece of here, number 8. So we're going to put that through, and hopefully that's strong. Don't see anything else going on. Oh yeah, there we go. One more piece. No, that was already there. So for now, all we're going to do is put that big piece, number 8, on, and find the bolts that actually align with that. Okay, so we're done with that step. We've installed the top piece, and as you can see, I'm used to marking all the bolts like we do with vehicles, and I know it doesn't look so pleasing for a home gym, but I mean, if I'm going to be under 120 kg on a bench press over here, I want to know if any of these bolts have moved or come loose. That's why I'm marking all the bolts. It just gives you a quick indication if something's coming loose over time. And yeah, that's just my personal preference. So this is done. We're gonna do the rest of this section, and then we're gonna move on to the bench. It's a bit messy over here with all the cable ties and the plastics that come in the packet or the box, but let's see what we can do. So this is the next step. I'm going to start with that piece at the back, number 13. We're going to get that on, and then we'll work our way to these side pieces over here. I don't think the front piece needs to be put on just yet. Let's put these, you see that piece number 20, we'll put that on last. So we'll start with this piece number 13, then we'll go to piece number 11 on both sides, and then we'll go to the last piece over there, and I think that will be basically it for this section. Then we move on to the bench. I must say I was very happy with the rest of the build. This is quite strong. This feels quite steady. It's just shaking a bit. I think I'm gonna have to level this ground out. But I wasn't too happy with the thickness of that. That's like maybe 2 mil or 3 mil max. I was hoping it was gonna be thicker because we're pushing heavy weight. But at least it's got this over here. So hopefully that adds some strength. I was happy that there were some steel bearings in there. The other point over here has bushings, I believe, but we still greased them up nicely, and we're going to do the same for that piece that we're doing next over there. Okay, so we are done with the back piece that holds the weights and everything, the lever. Now we're moving on to the chair, and yeah, all we have to do behind here is put the pieces on that make this Olympic 50 mil. So let's see how this goes. This leads us to the next step. So we're going to take this piece over here, and we're going to place that hole over that. Put the bolt in, tighten that down. We're also going to put the feet in the front there and put that together. Okay, so we're done with this section, and we're almost done, almost ready to gym. I think I'm going to do chest and triceps today and just test this machine out. I think the goal over the next few months is to actually see if this works, and we'll come back with an update. So we are done with this section over here. You see my dogs outside, they just went out now. This is the adjustment section. All these sections that move, yeah, there goes one of my dogs. Actually, he's inspecting the machine. All these sections that move, you don't tighten them super tight, but I put this mark over here just in case the bolts are coming loose. It will help me notice it quickly. I really don't mind if that mark is there as long as it's for safety. So we're done with this, and we've pretty much gone through this. Next step, putting the seats on and the Olympic weight carriers. Okay, so we've put on all these pieces at the end here to adapt it to the Olympic weights. It says in the manual these sections can hold up to 100 kg. That section at the back, 180. I believe this is 100, so let's see how this goes. I might be wrong. Let's look at the manual quickly and just check. I've still got one more step, and that's to put that seat on. And just a tip when putting the seat on, put all 4 bolts in first before you start tightening. There's that. Yeah, there we go. So it says you can put 180 kg max at the back there, 100 kg max on the one side, 250 kg max on the bench press section, 250 kg max on the actual bench. So I assume that'd be your body weight plus the weight. So in my case, I wouldn't go over 120 kg or 150 kg. on this machine, and I don't know, I'll have to take it slowly because for 150 kg seems a bit thin. I don't know, I'm doubting, but I think the only thing that will work is to test it and see. So let me put the seat on, and that will be a wrap for this build, and there'll be updates as we go along, as we see how this machine works and how it performs. I need to wipe the seat down. I got some oil on it as I was assembling it, but I think we're getting ready to actually do our first workout. And yes, I'm going to do my first workout after this whole workout of setting this up. And that right there is a wrap. We are done with the machine, and now I'm going to go into a chest and a shoulders and tricep workout. I'm doing the classic push-pull workout. Let's see how it works over the next few months, but I'm quickly going to do a workout, and then I'll be right back to conclude this video to tell you how the first time working on a leverage gym was. So yeah, enjoy. Okay, so I would be doing a disservice to this company if I left it just complaining about this point over here, feeling not so strong. So I did my chest workout, and by the way, please don't mind that. That's a Olympic bar that came free with the weights that I bought, and it was a special. It was on discount, very cheap compared to the usual price that these weights go for, and they are pricey. This is a family project, so I'm not the only one using this home gym. We wanted something that's a bit more reliable than cables. I've had some bad experiences with cables, and same with my family. That mat was needed, so you're going to see that at the later stage when I do an update on this. But I thought this was going to be weak. I put quite a lot of weight on it, and I worked out on the bench. One thing I would say, if you want to work out bench press, you want to adjust this hook over here. Just bring it down at least maybe one notch so that this sits a bit lower and you can get a full range of motion. The thing I like the most is it actually forces you to do the exercise in the proper motion, and at the same time, if you're using a barbell on a bench press, there's the little bit of instability sometimes when you are doing it, and sometimes that can cause muscle injury if it gets out of hand, if you're going too heavy. With this, it forces you to do the movement perfectly, and it eliminates that wobbliness of the bar, so you just go up and down, and it works the chest really well. I had many years in the gym, and let's give you a better image of this. I had many years in the gym. Once again, sorry for the mess in the background there. I'm still setting up the rest of this. I had many years in the gym a few years ago, but then because of work, everything stopped, and the reason why me and my family decided to get a home gym is because of work. We don't have time to actually do the commute to the gym consistently. So this makes it so much easier. I've been able to actually crack out some workouts in the last few days. On the day when I set it up, I did a chest workout and it was good. And this actually held up really well. It felt really sturdy. I believe it's in the design. So I'll be doing the company a disservice if I say and leave it that I feel that this is weak. It felt good enough, and I feel that I can at least push 100 kg on this with no worries. One thing with the bench that's really cool, if you want to move the bench back or forward, simply just lift it and you push it back. And as you can see, this piece comes a bit forward over there. I think that would help with incline. But when you're doing normal bench, you want this at the furthest point, and it's as easy as that to push the bench in and out. I like the fact that this bench is so solid. This bench shakes side to side a bit, but when you get on it, you put your body weight in it, it's solid. And the build of the bench is solid, so it's not going to crumble on you. Well, hopefully not. From what I observed, it looks like it's going to hold the weight. And yeah, if you're working back, you just switch the weights from here, from this section, put them over here, and you can do some proper lat pull downs. Sorry, this is once again still messy because I'm setting it up, but I enjoyed the lat pull downs, they were good. And I found that with lat pull downs, just like chest, the lat pull downs that I did on this machine were actually better than what I did on this. I actually got this machine, it was on discount, and it's the lat pull down machine. And this is a body solid. It was going for a fair price for a body solid machine. As you can see, so look up there, the lat pull downs. I prefer the lat pull downs on this machine as compared to the ones on this. Although I still do this, I do both. With regards to the rows on this machine, you can see it doesn't have a pad that continues. My dog's water bowl is there. You just have a small place here to sit. That's why I got that mat over there, that HS fitness mat. And I got some HS weights for that because I don't want to be moving weights from this machine to that machine and then back when I need to use this machine. So this has its own weights and that has its own weights, and I think that's sufficient weight for now for doing arms and doing them properly. Slow and controlled to movement. Slow and controlled so that we can get maximum hypertrophy and also just get the heart pumping and flowing blood properly and flowing properly through the systems, keeping in shape. As you build muscle, you get your metabolic rate up. I passed a comment in one of the 4x4 groups that if you have 35s or let's say 33s and up, it's beneficial to be able to push heavy weights, especially on bench press, shoulder press, arms, because flinging those 35-inch tires around is not easy, and it makes it worse if it's even bigger. Like if you go for 37-inch tires or 40s, you need to be strong to move those around. Smaller tires, I mean, you can just pick them up and throw them around. Anything under 33, so light, you can just flick them around like a frisbee. But when it comes to these big tires, they're heavy. So this also helps with that. And this is on a channel that does build the vehicles, does 4x4 and adventure. I think this is part of the adventure because staying healthy will keep you enjoying your builds, your car builds or your RC builds and your adventure. So me and my family have taken a really important step in terms of maintaining our health, and so far it's going well. I'm looking forward to my next workout, and so far I actually really love this gym. So yeah, I'm quickly gonna grab a thumbnail pic, but it looks so messy in the background over there. Like I said, it's still halfway in the process of being set up. So I'll do that. The one thing that I didn't like on this machine is the tricep push downs didn't feel so natural because it's got a bar that moves over here, swivels, and it's behind those things over there. I think you can see a piece of it over there. And because the bar is a certain length, it doesn't allow for such a natural movement. That's where this comes in. So I do biceps from the bottom over there, and I connect the piece on, and I do triceps from there coming down. And I've also got a rope on top of one of those dog food cans. It's very dusty. I've got rope for doing tricep push downs with the cable, and also bicep curls with the cable. So I think this pretty much gives you everything you need to do a full body workout. And this bench folds away. I'm not going to demonstrate that right now because it's not set up yet in terms of the gym, and there's a lot of stuff in the way. But basically that green piece over there, just untighten it slightly, pull it up, move the bench out of the way, connect that bar on, and that sits on your shoulders. Set this piece really low, and you can do proper squats with this machine. So you load all the weights on this side. Over here I'm using an upgraded clip that holds very tight. These are the body solid clips that came with that machine, and I find that they're more useful over here. So I'm very happy client at the moment. Hopefully I'll be very happy in the next few years and it'll last long, because it's a lever gym. It wasn't one of the most pricey lever gyms. I've seen the prices that they go to, but nevertheless the price was a bit much to buy it alone, so I bought it with family, and together I think we're all just really happy with it. So this is good for a family gym, all this together. And for cardio, we all go on a run together, which is good. So we keep that heart health very good at all times. And the nice thing is, when we go on a run, we take the dogs with, so they also get to do some exercise. And I'm just blessed. I've got like amazing dogs. When I work out, they just come sit in the corner far away from the weights and they just watch me. They don't get in the way. So it's such an amazing experience, and I'm humbled by it. So this is the first of this kind of video on this channel. We're not going to change our videos to this kind of thing all the time, but I will do some updates on this. And this is a chart with some of the exercises you can do on this machine, and there's a bit more that I discovered myself. But that's a wrap for this video. Thank you for watching. Until next time, cheers.